Hey guys, I'm just going to do a quick review, a spoiler review for Kong Skull Island. It's going to be a spoiler review, as I said. I don't see the point, or I don't have the time to do two separate reviews, so I'll try to make this fairly concise. Just walked out of it a couple minutes ago. I thought it was very, very good. Let's see, starting at the beginning here. I really liked the intro. I thought it was really cool with Hank Marlowe's backstory of how he crashed on the island. And what was really interesting was how Gunpei, the Japanese soldier who rather viciously tried to kill him, ended up surviving. It sort of suggested that Kong maybe kills the Japanese soldier defending Hank in that scene. At least that's what it suggested to me. And it was interesting they both survived and that they became very close. I liked that angle. I thought that was really cool. I really enjoyed John Goodman in the opening scenes. I enjoyed him throughout the whole movie, but I really liked him in the opening scenes where he tried to persuade, Washington to give him funding for this mission to the island. There was a lot of fun little dialogue, and Goodman's such a great actor. He seems to get just better, with age. I really enjoyed that stuff a lot. I thought the introduction to Tom Hiddleston was really cool. Showed that he's a formidable SAS guy when he kicked ass in that bar. And, visually, the opening of the movie, well, the whole movie, but especially the opening of the movie had a lot of really great stuff. Very atmospheric, neon, beautiful stuff with, like, I don't know if it was Hanoi or Saigon or whatever it was, but in Vietnam, that bar district, that was really, really neat. Cinematography in the movie, speaking of which, was very, very good. It had a look that was suggestive and a bit of an homage to the older filmic look of the 70s, I mean, obviously they still shot on film in the 80s, but the stuff in the 70s had a really particular look to it that was timeless and fantastic. And it sort of harkens back to that while remaining sort of modern and clean, but not so much where you'd think, oh, this is digital or whatever. It had a really nice, beautiful look to it. It did have some stylization. It looked like they did some color correction, obviously, but that didn't take away from the movie. It actually dramatically added to the movie. I think Jordan Vogt-Roberts has an obvious eye for a great many things. And one of those things is, sorry, my battery thing just went on. I don't know if it blurred out the picture, but one of those things is, just the visual aspect. So that was great. Let's see, cast. Everyone was great in it. My favorite was John C. Reilly. Surprisingly, I'm actually a big fan of his, but the humor in the trailer threw me off, and I worried that people were going to find it awkward or that it would fuck with the tone of the movie. But he was actually, many people have said, the heart and soul of the movie. And I thought he was absolutely fantastic. He was touching and funny and real and human. And the end scene actually had me in tears, man. It came out of nowhere and was a major gut punch when he's reunited with his family. So I thought he was phenomenal. Samuel L. Jackson does some of the best work he's done in a long time in this. He was legitimately scary and forceful and powerful and likable early on, and then kind of hissable later. Brie Larson does a solid job of being, just playing that character in a way that's sympathetic and realistic, and I just thought she was really great. Like Tom Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston, he's good in everything he does, but I liked his work here, and I liked the work of the different soldiers. I don't know a lot of the actors' names, but the guy that was in Straight Outta Compton did a really good job, and then the guy that kills himself with the grenades in the end, he was really interesting. I also am a big fan of Toby Kebbell ever since I saw Rock and Rolla, and he was really good. I was quite sad to see him die. So that, I guess we've covered the cast, cinematography. I thought the script was structured really well. It did move at a good clip. It had some really clever humor. A little of the dialogue was a little clunky. Someone had mentioned that in a review I saw on YouTube, but nothing like make or break. Just, a few little lines where you're like, that could have been polished a little better. But it had a good screenplay, good dialogue, good writing, great arc for John C. Reilly. And again, it was very well structured. It flowed well. Directorially, Jordan Vogt-Roberts is an incredible talent. Incredible talent. How much, back to Toby Kebbell, I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but Toby Kebbell did the Andy Serkis-esque work on Kong in this. He did the motion capture for Kong, and he did such an incredible job. I mean, this is some of the top work I've ever seen with Kong. They didn't go as far poetic or emotional as Peter Jackson did in King Kong. It's not quite that far, But I actually like what they did better in this, even though I love Kong and I love Serkis's work. I thought this was amazing. So yeah, I mean, the action was staged really well. It was legitimately frightening at times. The creatures in the movie were really fucking cool. That walking stick creature was really neat. I've actually seen something like that in my childhood, or actually saw, if this is the right word, one of those things in my childhood, and it was amazing. It looked just like a giant version of it. I loved the squid part. That was really neat to see Kong fight that. It was scary. You don't know which end he's going to come out, so to speak, victory or defeat. And I thought it was neat that he ate him. That was really kind of unsettling. Let's see. The skull crawlers were really cool, particularly the big one. I loved how they just are 2 arms and a tail, so they can sort of be aquatic, and they they can go through the water. They're very well engineered to go through tunnels in the ground, and they're just vicious and nasty. Kong, I think, was done spectacularly well. It's very clear that Jordan Vogt-Roberts and ILM and everyone involved in the execution of Kong on screen has a great affection and love for Kong. And there's so many majestic, magnificent, classic movie monster moments with Kong in there that are done so well. And I envy the little boys and girls that are into movie monsters that see this at those right ages, like anything from, I don't know, like probably maybe 6 years old to maybe 13 or something like that. It would be just a really special experience because he was done so well. The score was interesting. It wasn't super spectacular. That's fine. Everyone's looking for themey scores today. Everyone wants a Star Wars theme, and that isn't necessarily the case for every movie. Every movie doesn't need to be like Back to the Future or Indiana Jones in terms of a theme that's that memorable. Sometimes you just have to write for what's best for the movie, and there's a lot of different sort of ways that you can do that. I'm a composer myself. And so I liked what Henry Jackman did with it. I really did, particularly the stuff towards the end. Let's see, what have I covered? Kong, pacing, screenplay, Jordan Vogt-Roberts, the actors. Yeah, I mean, that kind of wraps it up. I would give it an A-. I really liked it. I'll be buying it on 3D Blu-ray for sure. I'm gonna actually buy the score. I quite enjoyed it. As far as standout moments in the film, I loved the part with Tom Hiddleston with the gas mask and the samurai sword. That was done really fucking well. I loved Kong fighting the squid. The end battle. This is what I wanted to say too. The most impressive thing to me in the movie was how well Jordan Roberts was able to keep track of the action and stage it in such a way that was new and different when Kong is fighting the giant skull crawler at the end. That's a lot of stuff to keep track of with the water and the atmospherics and the weather and the rain of the water effects and so forth. And he did it in such a way that was new and fresh and primal and just was like Titan-esque, if that's a word. And it was really, really well done. So yeah, I loved the movie. And last thing, really cool Easter egg, Jordan Vogt-Roberts will be directing a Metal Gear Solid. Hopefully that goes through. He's already signed for it, I believe. There's a neat little Easter egg. The name of the boat, John C. Reilly's boat, is Gray Fox. And Metal Gear fans will know who Gray Fox is. So I would highly recommend seeing Kong Skull Island. I thought it was fantastic. Very much enjoyed it. It absolutely is worth the money. It's a brilliant introduction to King Kong done with love and respect and great artistry. And I think that if they continue this level of quality moving forward, Legendary is going to have a really wonderful roster of new monster films in their library. Have a great day, guys, and thanks for watching. God bless.